Nathan, it's Monday, June 9th. Time for another Misconception Monday. This week's topic is myths about summer because, you know, relevancy and whatever. Okay, so misconception number 1 is that your skin cannot get damaged by the sun during cloudy days. This myth often leads people who would be susceptible to burning during a sunny day to not wear sunscreen on a cloudy day. But think about the way that sunlight works. Sure, on a cloudy day, visible light from the sun is somewhat obscured. You don't feel the heat radiation as intensely as you do on a cloudless day when you can feel the sunlight really warming up your skin. But we all know that the sun puts off more light from the spectrum than just visible light, including ultraviolet light. On the spectrum, ultraviolet light lies just past the violet section of visible light. Clouds do not block the passage of ultraviolet light, which can be damaging to those prone to burning. So basically, if you're the type of person who wouldn't forego sunscreen on a sunny day, be sure to apply on those cloudy days too. The second myth I want to debunk, however, is that sunlight is like the ultimate enemy. In our super cancer-aware society, we tend to be very afraid of sunlight and slather on a lotiony concoction of a whole bunch of chemicals anytime the weather gets above 70 degrees. While I'm not going to comment on the use of sunscreen, which has its pros and cons, I am going to say that there are some benefits to getting sunlight. First of all, your body produces a healthy dose of vitamin D from exposure to ultraviolet B rays. The fairer the skin, the more easily it absorbs sunlight to produce this vitamin D. This is why the pale mutation was so successful for humans in northern, colder environments. Since they weren't getting much exposure to the sun, those with paler skin were able to absorb more sunlight and make more vitamin D. Exposure to sunlight can also lower blood pressure by enlarging blood vessels and reducing hypertension, and can even lessen the risk of getting multiple sclerosis later in life. Even the lack of sunlight has been attributed to seasonal affective disorder. Misconception number 3. Ice cream trucks are only for children. Just because some of the goods on the truck are advertised towards children and that the truck plays children's melodies while driving around does not mean you have to be a child to buy ice cream from said truck. What, you think the ice cream man is gonna judge you for buying ice cream from him? Or, moreover, not sell ice cream to you? Another misconception that many people have is that the Earth is closer to the sun during summertime, and that's what makes it so hot. Now, it is true that the Earth's yearly orbit causes it to change its distance relative to the sun. It varies from being about 91.5 million miles to 94.5 million miles away from the sun every year. However, the Earth is at its perihelion, which is the closest distance from the sun, at the beginning of every January. We actually reach aphelion, which is the furthest distance from the sun, at the beginning of every July. So yeah, obviously, it's not our distance or closeness to the sun that makes our weather hot. Furthermore, that wouldn't explain why the seasons are reversed in the southern hemisphere. No, the heat in the summertime is due to the Earth's changing axial tilt. The Earth doesn't orbit the sun just straight up and down. It orbits the sun at an angle. It's tilted a little bit. So basically in our summertime, our hemisphere tilts toward the sun so that its light hits us more directly. Science. Okay, so here's one that you can really have fun with. There is no chemical dye thing that pool owners can buy that will indicate when someone has urinated in the pool. The misconception probably came about as a way of preventing peeing in the pool and encouraging younger children to use the toilet. Basically, it's supposed to be this chemical that turns the water around you blue or red or purple if you happen to pee in the pool. Apparently, this myth has been around for a long time. I first heard of it as a child and was able to dispel it over the years just because it sounded ridiculous anyway, but I was able to confirm it with some common sense and a quick search on the internet. First of all, urine and sweat are almost chemically identical, so having that as solely a urine indicator wouldn't be practical or maybe even possible. Also, our pools are filled with enough chemicals, and I just don't think public pool owners are going to go through the trouble of trying to catch the perpetrators. The idea of a urine-contaminated pool is just something you're going to have to come to terms with if you're going to a public swimming place. But this chemical does not exist, most likely never will, so pee away. This last myth is a recent one, made popular by singer Lana Del Rey last year when she claimed that she had a summertime sadness, when in fact all the science proves that one cannot possibly be sad in the summer. Because, duh, it's summer, the time of year that makes all the other times of the year worth it. Nathan, I'm super excited to spend an awesome summer with you, and we'll see you on Wednesday.